Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision's The Week That Was, covering the news and events for the week ending Friday, April 28, 2022. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Troy students with parking tickets had the chance to get a little relief Thursday while helping out fellow students in need. It was part of the first ever Ticket Amnesty Day held by the University Police Department.
The University Police Department gave students who have received a parking ticket this semester a break by forgiving parking violations in exchange for donations to the campus food pantry.
So this was our first ever Ticket Amnesty Day, where we gave students an opportunity to bring in items to donate to the campus food pantry. We asked for hygiene items and things that might help students, pens, papers, anything for studies, also, soaps, shampoos, and this is our first day doing this, and so far it has been a major success in my opinion.
Beaudry says he was pleased with the turnout and excited about what the donations will be able to do to help students.
So far, we've had 33 students who have come in to take advantage of this. So that's 33 students who are saving some money. And as you can see by the bins that are full of donated items, I feel very comfortable that we actually are going to help a lot more than 33 students. So the students have been very generous. They've been bringing in above and beyond. We asked for them to bring in about half of the amount that they wanted taken off of their tickets. In most cases, the students have gone above that half amount, and they've been happy to do it. They've come in with a great attitude, and they've appreciated the opportunity to save themselves some money, but they've also appreciated what their donations are going towards.
And with Amnesty Day's successful haul, Beaudry says students can expect this opportunity at least once a semester in the future.
Yeah, we will do this once a semester, I think. I feel really good about it. I think, again, I'm very pleased with the numbers. I didn't have an idea of how many might take advantage of this, and in my book, 33, we still have 30 minutes. We still may see some more, but in my book, 33 people coming in and taking advantage of this is much more than I expected. So.
Downtown Troy was packed with art and artists last weekend as Troy Fest took over the square, giving residents a chance to experience a variety of art and artwork while having some community-based fun. Savannah Sapp has the details.
With such fair weather rolling into this weekend, Troy Fest is off to a tremendous start here on the square in downtown. Troy locals have been able to enjoy delicious food while supporting local artists and small businesses. Troy Fest brought many art lovers into downtown Troy this weekend. Artists from across the state of Alabama had their opportunity to not only showcase their artwork, but to celebrate all artists throughout Troy's history.
Troy Fest is held in honor and memory of Gene Lake, who is a folk artist, and the Gene Lake Art Festival is held at the Pike Pioneer Museum for many years. This is our 19th year on the downtown square. We were absent a year for COVID. Last year we were able to have our festival, but we still saw a decreased crowd. One, we didn't have good weather, and two, people still weren't completely comfortable coming in crowds, and this year that is not the case. We are seeing record number crowds, record numbers of people enjoying the festival, and it is such a wonderful thing to see.
Attendees were not the only ones excited to take in the culture of the festival. Vendors were also eager to display their talent. One former student of the Hall School of Journalism brought an array of clay earrings she makes by hand.
This is my second year being an artist here, so I have really enjoyed myself being out here. It's a beautiful day. Last year we had rain. We've had a lot of people come up to our booth, and I'm really excited to be a vendor here. I started 3-4 years ago, right before the pandemic. So it was just something as a stress relief from my day-to-day job. My husband said, "You're making too many earrings for yourself. It's time to sell them to people now." So I started doing that, and actually during COVID and during the quarantine, it kind of picked up. I will say that it's kind of my main goal every year is to at least do Troy Fest. I do have a website, I do have Instagram and Facebook, but the 9-to-5 job does kind of take away from it sometimes. So I always make sure that I'm ready for Troy Fest.
My favorite part about Troy Fest is the artists. These artists have become like family to us. We have artists that we celebrate their family milestones with. We have artists that have retired from going to festivals that we've been able to celebrate, and these artists really are family to us, and I enjoy seeing them each year.
This year's festivities rounded out on Sunday afternoon with more food, art, and entertainment. More information about next year's Troy Fest can be found at troyfestarts.com. Savannah Sapp, Troy, TrojanVision News.
April is National Poetry Month, and on Tuesday, the main quad was filled with students and faculty sharing some of their favorite works. Belle Johnson gives us a look.
Tuesday afternoon, Sigma Tau Delta and the Troy University English Department came together to celebrate National Poetry Month by holding a poetry reading open for both students and professors.
This is annual Poetry Month, and so every year we have hosted a poetry reading.
This is something that we have been doing lately. Lately we've been doing it yearly. National Poetry Month is April, and so there are events like this all over the country, and we just want to be involved.
Those participating gathered by John Lewis Hall to read their favorite poems or works by many different writers. Selections included works by Robert Frost, Lewis Carroll, and even artists such as Taylor Swift.
We had very good participation from the students this year, and it's just a time for us to share either original poems or our favorite poems from the literary canon.
Some students were even given the chance to show their talents by reading their original poems or writings.
I'm hoping that students will get a bit more inspired about poetry and about creativity. Some of the people who read today read their own work, which is really gutsy, okay? It's really gutsy to do something like that in front of a group of people you don't know. And it's really impressive to see, to see students do that and to hear their creativity as well.
Not all of the readers were English majors, and some had just been passing by the event. Johnson says she hopes this event will encourage and provide inspiration to young writers.
That's what the love of the arts, the love of literature is all about, that passion that we all have.
Belle Johnson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
A Troy University fraternity was enjoying an old playground favorite on campus as Tall Capsaicon spent 48 hours on a teeter-totter for a good cause. Cailey Wright has the story.
If you go to the quad, you might see or saw a seesaw. Though it might look like a bunch of frat dudes fooling around on a teeter-totter, the Brothers of Teak are actually raising awareness and money for St. Jude while having a little bit of fun in the process.
It's fantastic. It is a lot of fun.
St. Jude is a research hospital dedicated to helping children with cancer. According to Teak's philanthropy chair, Spencer Harvey, St. Jude relies on the contributions from organizations like Teak to make sure that treatments cost nothing for patients.
Teak nationally is the largest supporter to St. Jude in the world.
Harvey believes this comes without saying because a former member of Teak, Danny Thomas, was a founder of St. Jude. And though the brothers are enthusiastic to help those in need, going up and down has its ups and downs.
It definitely starts to wear on you after a little while. We hand-built this seesaw a couple years ago, so it's not quite the most comfortable thing in the world, but it's definitely worth it.
In addition to seesawing for 48 hours straight, the three brothers who have the highest amount of donations will dye their hair red in order to honor the children at St. Jude.
I would love to dye my hair red for these kids.
Matiki is enthusiastic to support children fighting cancer because it is a cause that is close to his heart.
I have a friend named Julia, and her sister died from cancer when she was like 11. And so my friend Julia's always come to me and been there, and I've always been there for her. And so childhood cancer and stuff like that is something I take seriously.
Teak will be tabling in Trojan Center this week from 10 to 2 to accept any donations in order to reach their goal of $5,000 to donate to St. Jude. Cailey Wright, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And after spending 48 hours seesawing on the quad, the Brothers of Teak had the chance to cool off Thursday by taking a dip in some cool, refreshing water. However, how they got in the water was up to the throwing ability of Troy students. Taylor Wayman explains.
Thursday, Troy's Teak fraternity held its first ever dunk tank fundraising event to support St. Jude Hospital. Students headed to class or headed to the Trojan Center got the chance to showcase their best throwing skills to hit the target and dunk one of the Teak brothers.
It's just fun for us because we get to sit out here, hang out, we got music playing, and we just get to hang out, watch our fellow brothers get dunked in some cold water.
The entire week was planned out by the philanthropy chair, with events such as seesawing for 48 hours straight to a planned party to celebrate the fun-filled week of events Teak hosted.
For $1 only, students get the chance, or chances, to take this ball and dunk Teak's president.
Though not everyone hit their target, participants still got the chance to run up and dunk just for fun. Students were able to enjoy themselves and support a good cause, donating to the children that fight cancer every day.
It's so special to do new and fun, exciting things. It's the first time we've ever done something like this, so it's really special to me. Exciting, and St. Jude is near and dear to my heart, so it means a lot to be able to raise money for them. We've had a really good turnout already, and it's only like 10 o'clock, so we're so excited about that. We've already raised a ton of money.
The event lasted from 10 to 2, and students were stopping by and enjoying the fun well before 11 a.m. Needless to say, Teak's first ever dunk tank event was a success, and the fraternity plans on making it an annual event. Taylor Wayman, Troy, TrojanVision News.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get a look at the inner workings of the Trojan softball pitching machine, Leanna Johnson. That's coming up right after this, so stay tuned.
We all dream, but dreams quickly become distant memories unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we offer leadership opportunities from day one. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change. Do you have what it takes to change the world?
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
Trojan softball pitcher Leanna Johnson is making her case for Pitcher of the Year every time she steps into the circle. Claudia Peppenhorst gives us a look at the inner workings of the four-time Sun Belt Pitcher of the Week.
That's the sound of Leanna Johnson, a junior pitcher for the Trojan softball team. Johnson is not only known for her craft of pitching, but being highly decorated for it as well. While she has made a name for herself within the Sun Belt Conference, she says she found her love of softball in childhood.
I've been doing it pretty much my whole life. Played t-ball growing up, and then I started pitching when I was about 10. My older sisters did it, and then I just wanted to do it too, I guess. But I really fell in love with it, and I just love pitching, and I've been doing it ever since.
Last season as a sophomore, Johnson secured Pitcher of the Week 3 times in a row for the Sun Belt Conference. But this wasn't her first time being recognized for her work. In 2019, Johnson won the Freshman of the Year award.
It was very honoring, just like rewarding, going out there working hard with your team and then just having that reward at the end of the year. It was just something to be really proud of, that like all of your work that you put in like paid off to get like such a big reward like that. But it was just really fun.
Johnson said that winning the Freshman of the Year award only a few short years ago set the standard for her pitching career here at Troy University, and it pushed her to better herself every season.
I always try to get better at something. Softball's a hard game, and just to get better at even the little things can make a big difference. So I think I just use that as motivation and just try to capitalize each year and just get even better.
Another motivation that has an added connection to her pitching coach, Holly Ward, is being able to step into the circle when a former teammate could not.
She actually got to play with Alex Wilcox in high school, who passed away from ovarian cancer, and I got to play with Alex my senior year of college. So we have that connection, and that is, I think, a really big reason. Alex was a pitcher before she got cancer, so then I just think that helps motivate that she gets to do this when Alex couldn't, and same for me, but really just that, and she just wants to win. She hates to lose more than she loves to win, and so that just makes her a really big competitor out there.
Claudia Peppenhorst, Troy, TrojanVision Sports.
Fans got their first look Saturday of the new head coach John Sumrall and the Trojan football team in the annual spring scrimmage game. Wesley Modling has the highlights from T-Day.
The Troy Trojans hosted their annual T-Day spring game this weekend in Veterans Memorial Stadium. The white team and Cardinal team faced off against each other, with the white team coming out on top 31-10. The biggest story in this game was Coach John Sumrall in his first T-Day since his return to Troy, this time as head coach.
Yeah, great turnout by our fans. Really good crowd today. A lot of events that went on with it in regards to having the fun run this morning. And then we had a lunch with the legends. We had Cailey and Larry Blakeney here and a couple former players as well. And then the opportunity to watch our guys go out and compete in our stadium and hopefully, see us grow as a team and encouraged by the direction we're headed. We still have a long way to go, but we're going in the right direction.
On the offensive side of the ball, Quade Hawkins connected with Peyton Higgins on a 3-yard touchdown pass in the first half. And in the second half, freshman running back Jarris Williams broke 2 long runs before scoring a 2-yard touchdown for the white squad. The defense of both teams had an opportunity to contribute to the score by way of turnovers, 3-and-outs, and forced punts. The white team's defense put on a spectacular performance with safety Craig Slocum leading the way with 2 interceptions. After the game, things ended on a happy note for sophomore walk-on Keyshawn Swanson, who was awarded a scholarship after the T-Day game, which was presented to him by his family.
It's really surreal. I've been working for 3 years now. I tried to stay optimistic about everything, but you have those days where you be like, you're never going to get that scholarship, but all glory to God, I finally got it.
Swanson spoke highly of Sumrall and his efforts to change the culture of the team.
As you can see, we did break bread. I feel like we're getting closer as a team. Doing that last year, we didn't really know anything about each other. We wasn't forced to or even told to, so I feel like we're bonding together more as a group.
Prior to his hire, Sumrall had a previous tenure with Troy from 2015 to 2017 before he left for the SEC. Sumrall is excited about his return to Troy this time with more responsibility.
Well, being a head coach is a great opportunity, and doing it at a place I love dearly and care a lot about and believe in is such a rewarding opportunity here at Troy. This place means a lot to me and my family, and excited to be here, excited to grow this program and invest in this community.
Wesley Modling, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Now that the Trojan football team has wrapped up spring practice, the team is looking ahead to the fall. And while there's a lot of excitement about the start of the John Sumrall era, there's one Trojan who has a chance to make NCAA history, breaking the all-time career tackles record this fall. Mackenzie Lee takes a look at Carlton Marshall's road to his final season as a Trojan.
Carlton Marshall has an inspiring story as he began as a walk-on at Troy University and soon became one of the team's star players as an All-American. He talks about his collegiate journey in football.
The transition from walk-on to All-American, transition from a walk-on to, a scholarship player, that's just nice, finally having that relief. When that day happened, it's one I'll always remember, so, I'm just grateful,
After graduating, Carlton decided to come back for his final season of playing football with the Trojans, and he credits this to the relationships he's formed.
A lot of these guys I've kind of built a relationship with over the years. They became family, and these past 3 years haven't been the best. I'm sure everyone knows that. I feel like we have something special going, and I know I'm ready to see where we can take this out to.
Carlton Marshall wasn't influenced by his personal records, but rather he wants to help lead his team to securing a conference championship and potentially a New Year's Six bowl game.
I don't like to think about personal goals, but personal goals, hopefully, NCAA tackle leader, hopefully, maybe another All-American, but honestly, my main focus is conference championship and hopefully a New Year's Six bowl. So if we can make that happen this year, that'll be nice.
If you want to see more of Carlton Marshall, the Trojans are preparing to take on Ole Miss at Ole Miss in their opener on September 3rd. Mackenzie Lee, Troy, TrojanVision Sports.
Earlier this year, Troy University cheerleaders had one of the best showings in national competitions in school history. However, the team did it down one member, who suffered a major season-ending injury right before the team was set to compete. Rex Smith has the story of recovery for the injured cheerleader.
Cameron White is a cheerleader at Troy University who's getting ready to graduate this May.
This was my second season cheering.
And this past fall, he was gearing up for what was going to be his second and final nationals performance as a Troy cheerleader.
This is unfortunately my last year competing.
When something unexpected happened just a week before the competition.
I felt just like something kind of slip in my back, throwing one of the rewinds. And so I went down to Birmingham, got the MRI, and then they told me I had a fractured vertebrae and a herniated disc.
And this particular injury forced Cameron White to transition from cheering on the mat to cheering in the stands.
Coach was waiting on, I guess, word from me on what the doctors found. And so I finally called him after I got my MRI done. I was like, I'm not going to be able to compete.
And this forced the cheerleaders to rearrange their entire nationals routine.
It affected a lot. We went from 5 boys to 4 boys, which is a big difference. It affected our baskets, our stunts, our pyramids.
But despite sustaining a season-ending injury, Cameron was able to go down to Orlando and cheer on his cheer team as they made their first finals appearance in 5 years. And he cheered them on, dressed out in full uniform.
Being down there and just like wearing that uniform, seeing them compete, like it almost made me like tear up just being so proud of them. And I still at least like felt a part of the team.
And now post-competition, Cameron sets his sights on recovering, having 3 separate rounds of steroid injections.
At first we thought it was kind of working, and then the pain just kept on coming back. And so now they think the only option is really just going to be surgery. But I'm hoping it'll work, but I know the surgery will bring some relief, so I'm very excited.
And wishing Cameron a safe surgery and a speedy recovery. Rex Smith, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Well, it's time for our last break, but when we return, we'll learn about a summer camp to teach high schoolers about entrepreneurship. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
We all dream, but dreams quickly become distant memories unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we teach everyone to be leaders in their field. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change.
Mama. Mama. Say mama. Yeah.
I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm almost 2 now and still not responding. That's one sign of a communication disorder, and delaying treatment can affect my development.
Many parents aren't aware of the early signs of speech, language, and hearing disorders, yet early detection and treatment can improve quality of life.
Say dada.
Ugh, here we go.
Identify the signs of communication disorders.
Troy's Idea Bank is giving high schoolers a chance to learn about entrepreneurship this summer. We'll learn more about the camp in this week's Trojan Talk. Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. With me today is Lynne George, Director of the Idea Bank here at Troy University. And Lynne, thanks for joining us here today.
Thanks for having me.
And we're here normally when we talk about the Idea Bank, we're talking about college students and entrepreneurs and college-age entrepreneurs, students that are trying to, get that business idea going, but we're shooting a little bit younger for what we're talking about here today. We're talking about a summer camp about entrepreneurship. Tell us a little about what you've got going on this summer.
Well, entrepreneurship is really a rising interest among young people, especially with technology and social media. It's getting easier and easier for a young person to start a business and profit off of it. So we really want to reach a younger audience and support our high school students. So we're doing a camp this summer specifically for high school students. It is sponsored by Wiregrass Resource Conservation and Development Council. It's a bit of a mouthful, WRC&D. But we are doing this to recruit some high school students who want to start their own business, want to be their own boss. We will spend a week with them, helping them develop their business plan, practice their pitch, and just teach them about what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. And then we'll wrap it up with a pitch competition, and each student will compete for a chance to win a scholarship to Troy University.
Oh, so they're entrepreneurs, they're business people, they're trying to do this, but there's that competitive edge to see who could come up with the best idea.
Yes, it's going to be great because no matter what happens, each student will leave with a plan that's custom to what they want to do. They should come with their idea, and we'll help them work through a plan for making that idea happen. But then you also get the added benefit of maybe walking away with some scholarship money at Troy.
And of course, it doesn't hurt to expose 15 to 20 high school students about what the university's Idea Bank has to offer if they make that next step.
Yes, exactly. As we build the Idea Bank programming, we definitely want to spread awareness of how we can support young, aspiring entrepreneurs in both an academic and a non-academic way.
And of course, my thought would be, high school students, is that too young to be thinking of entrepreneurship and business? Because even for college students sometimes, but it's not too young. There's high school students out there that are trying to come up with business ideas?
No, it's not too young at all. Like I said, I think it's really a rising interest. I feel like when I was in high school, the more common thing, at least for someone interested in business, was to pursue kind of your traditional business degree. But now, I guess with the knowledge sharing and access to social media and technology that these high school students grew up with, it's so much easier to educate yourself and promote a product or promote a service and even profit from being an influencer, being on social media. So how can we take that new niche and turn it into something big?
And of course, how does the working system of the Idea Bank kind of flow into the camp structure here of what the Idea Bank does on a regular basis for college students? How does that work in converting to the high school age and be able to work in this camp?
So there's a lot of easy transitions. We do a lot of one-on-one consulting with college students. We're going to do a lot of that just with high school students, so the conversations may be a little bit different because these students won't have as much business class experience. But we also do a lot of educational workshops, so we'll just tweak our programming to fit more of a high school audience with a little bit less expertise on your traditional business plan. And a little bit less expertise on financials and things like that. But yeah, we're going to do basically the same things, it'll just be, the messaging will be tweaked a little bit.
And what are you looking for? What kind of students would be your ideal students to take part in this camp?
I would love to have a group of high school students who want to be their own boss and have an idea of why and have an idea of in what industry. So whether it's, and one thing I want to make clear is you don't have to be inventing a new invention. I mean, if you want to open a bakery and that's your passion and you want to open this business but you don't really know how, then come to this camp and we can develop a plan for making this really amazing, unique bakery that you want to open. That's just an example.
Well, and that's what I started thinking about. We talk about, there are high school students out there who are making a living and doing these like lawn mowing services and cooking and crafts and things like that, once again, in the entrepreneurship world, a skill or a hobby can instantly be flipped and turned into a gig.
Yeah, I feel like that's the dream. Like, how can you make your hobby and your passion into something profitable? And that's what we want to do for young people.
All right, now, if anybody does want to get involved with this, what can they do to sign up, to register? Give us the rundown on that. So.
Troy.edu/summer camps.
Okay.
Go to that website. It'll be one of the first ones that pops up. Entrepreneurship Summer Camp. All the information and links and applications are there. If you still need help, call the Idea Bank 334-808-6794.
All right, and only about 15 or 20 spots, right? So it's a little bit competitive. Before you even get to the scholarship competition, it's going to be a little bit competitive to get into one of those spots for the camp. So we want to register early and get involved that way.
Absolutely, and that's part of entrepreneurship. It's competitive out there.
All right, well, Lynne, good luck with the entrepreneurship camp. And it sounds like it's an interesting and new way to bring high school students into the entrepreneurship age. I want to thank you for joining us here today.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk. And that's the week that was. To find out what's happening on a daily basis, you can tune into Troy TrojanVision News at 5, 6:30, and 10:30, Monday through Friday. Or you can visit us anytime on the TrojanVision News blog at today.troy.edu/TrojanVision to see online content from Troy TrojanVision News. A quick program note before we go. This will be our last episode for the spring semester here at Troy University. We'll be back with more shows in June. Until then, have a good week.